It's Real Fit Radio with B
and J.LOU.
If this is your first time listening, welcome. And if you're a returning listener, welcome back.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good character is not formed in a week or a month. It is created little by little, day by day. Protracted and patient effort is needed to develop good character. Ooh, Heraclitus of Ephesus?
Is that a name?
Let me try that again. Heraclitus of Ephesus. I'm assuming that's like Greek or something. You know how they had a Greek philosophy and stuff like that? Maybe that was their way of doing it. Something like Socrates.
I just would have made up another name at the bottom. That was a lot. That was a mouthful. I might have embellished. I've been on that and been like Clark Johnson.
Something that's easier to pronounce.
Nobody would have looked it up. They were like, man, that Clark Johnson, that was deep. I completely agree on the patience part. Patience is a much needed thing in every area of our life. And it's the most frustrating part of it. It's like a watched pot that never boils. Like, is it ready yet? So that was your enlightening quote for the day.
Character.
Got it. Well, we're back, you guys, and we're better. And for our regular listeners, you know that we took a much needed pause and we officially came back on May 10th. So this will be our second podcast since then. The one that we actually posted on May 10th, I don't want to say it was an old one. We have some that were kind of archived that hadn't made their way to the different platforms that we're already on. So we wanted to begin to upload those because they have their gems and takeaway as well. So we started back with an oldie, and it's entitled Trust the Process, or it's titled Trust the Process. I don't know why I'm saying so many ums. That's what happens when you take a break. I had to do the intro like 3 times. Just wow. My mind literally is like has to get back into podcast mode and get everything together. We weren't even gone. It was like what, 2 weeks?
It was 2 weeks, but it seemed like it ran by so fast because even though we said we was gonna pause, we had other things that we were doing in those 2 weeks.
Right, but the podcast part, like my mind is really like, what is this podcast? This is Real Fit. What? This is Real Fit Radio.
What you're doing is you're kind of getting a small dose of what an athlete probably has happened to them when they get injured and they're out for a couple of weeks, and then it's like even though you're good at what you do, it still takes a couple of games to get back into game shape and be able to move at game speed because you were just injured.
Well, dang, I'm not trying to make it hard on the editing for you. I don't mean that to be funny, but when I have all these uhs and buts and ums and I know you take those out so that we can help the listeners get to the meat and potatoes of it without all the random interruptions, pauses, all the extra little stuff. The power of editing. In our break that we took, we got a lot of stuff done. There were some hiccups in the road with different things. We had to wait on some stuff. There were some delays. We redid our room. We got some painting done.
Furniture.
Yeah, we went to IKEA on a bench, like we're gonna get this. And we were doing like Bob the Builder up in here. We built some things. We cleared some more stuff out in the backyard. The whole goal was to reset, refuel, and get ourselves back to where we're able to give 110% to the podcast because it was just so much going on. And if you don't know, you can always reference the snippet is on our Instagram at Real Fit Radio. There's a piece there, and you can also catch the podcast for the pause. It was short. It wasn't the length of our regular podcast, but it does give you some insight to what I'm talking about right now. But we got a lot of stuff done. We kind of took a step back from the podcast and changed hats, and we're back now, and we have a lot to talk about for some of the things we experienced during that break that we had. It was crazy. I'm really over here, like, my mind is in a frazzle. For one, I'm laughing because I kept messing with Lou, and I think every time I mention edit now, he's going to laugh because I learned to edit a program that's different from Lou's, but that's going to hopefully, not even hopefully, it's going to, because I'm going to take myself to school and assist Lou where I can edit my vocals, he can edit his. And in the event that Lou was away, we all know that his first passion is music and he's not here, or we have Josiah and Jair come on. That's something else that you guys will see going forward. The kiddos will be in on some of the podcasts, not all the time, but they've got some great insight and feedback. They are the F in the fit part of Real Fit Radio, which is family. And so we're going to focus on that as well. We were able to refocus, remember that part of it too. It's not that we weren't doing it. It's just everybody's schedules have been so crazy. The kids have their own endeavors, but in that time, we kind of committed to them coming on as well to kind of give us their thoughts and insight. And let's have these open conversations and dialogue. So it'll be 4 of us sometimes, might catch 3 of us, 2 of us, different things like that. That's like our check-in right now. That's my check-in. I don't know if you have something else to add in regards to the check-in for the time that we were gone.
Well, not really, because most of the check-in would be the same ideals, basically. Like you said, I helped you paint. Was in here building, like you said, and for as anything on my end, I haven't honestly done anything different outside of those entities. Reading is still part of the routine, working out, that's all still the same. Outside of the new look of the room and helping to assist with that, that's all I got. You pretty much covered what we was trying to do.
Yeah. And I think too, sometimes when you step back from something, anything, it gives you an opportunity to gain a different perspective, fresh Rima, new insight, and just to reevaluate some things as well. And that's a part of the refocus and then refuel, to take in some new things instead of we're set. So it's like every week, let's turn the mics on. It's time to talk. And there was, again, with so much going on, we were headed in the direction of talking about a sad state that the world is in with the craziness that has happened continuously. And it's uncalled for. It's just unwarranted. It's crazy. So, what we're going to talk about today, though, the meat and potatoes of this, I decided to look for a plumber / handyman to, would it be remodel or change out the setup in the kitchen? Would that be considered remodeling?
Not really remodeling. I would think that it was more or less just, I can't think of the word either, but it wouldn't be remodeling. All we were doing was changing out how our washer and dryer machine got rid of the excess water. We needed an extra pipe underneath the house, along with you wanting to change out the numbers in the front.
Right.
So some aesthetic stuff, basically.
So backstory, the home that we're in, it should be considered, what do they call them? Historical home. It's from
antique.
Yeah, it's from 1923. It's beautiful. I really like the character of the home. Everything is sturdy still in it. I mean, it's still standing. 3 generations. So we're constantly deciding, are we going to take this down, pull this up? So we're just making a bunch of different changes, but we're taking our time. So one of the things is the way that the washer and dryer, the setup, there's a utility sink, and it was connected where the piping, it needed to be extended, and we needed a plumber to do all this. We wanted more space and kind of create another part for a laundry room, so on and so forth. So I got to work to find someone, because we're really big on small business or entrepreneurs, independent contractors. Those are people that don't get the work sometimes that the big companies do, with the exception of referral. Yeah, I almost said resource, but not resource, but just through referrals. What I mean, just referrals. So I jumped on Yelp. I'm looking. I find this guy. He's got amazing Yelp reviews, and I give him a call, tell him about the projects I have. In addition to that, by the way, not just the washer and dryer, I wanted the address changed out on the front of the house. I wanted a new mailbox, and I also wanted some additional wire from I guess for dish, for different type of internet wires that existed before we came here.
Yeah, they didn't have a ground, meaning they were not working. So
right. So I wanted those access wires taken down, just different things. And I planned, once I found someone that was able to do these things, plumber, and it's slash, a lot of people say plumber, handyman, carpenter, handyman, but I was looking for a plumber specifically, handyman, someone that can do other things. I had multiple projects. I just wanted them to finish these were to start off. So I found this person. The Yelp was amazing, and I did my research because I had a couple of other people come before I got to him, but I actually called him first. He was further out. He didn't service this area, so I ended up getting some other people to come in. They come in, we get some price points, and I'm like, geez, but I still want to get a couple of estimates before we decide who we're going with. The first guy that I called that said he didn't come this way ended up calling me back telling me that he actually would come this way, and so I was like, perfect, because of the reviews and everything. So he comes out, he takes a look at everything, gives us a quote. We're okay with the quote, and we schedule the work. Shows up on time.
That was the biggest pro, was the showing up on time. It's like, okay, started out good, he on time.
Right. I can't tell this part any other way. So we asked, could he use the restroom? He uses the bathroom, and then he proceeds to go out and work up under the house. Maybe a few minutes after that, our son comes and says the plumber took, what did Jay say? I just laugh because it's not even real.
His exact words, but the disdain look on his face, like he was just,
it was bad.
He was taken aback, put it like that.
He's like, the plumber took a crap in the bathroom and left me with skid marks in his bathroom, and the paper didn't go all the way down. He put the toilet seat down, and I could hear him grunting and the belt the jangling of his belt, and he's passing gas, and I'm just like, this is something that I would joke about.
No, you did joke about it. That's the jacked up part about it. Before he even came in here and said anything about that, she literally just made a joke saying, wouldn't that be crazy if he asked to use the restroom and he went in there and did number 2 or whatever and left it in there? Wouldn't that be crazy if he did? I said, why would you think of something like that? And sure enough, an hour later, Jay came in here and said he did the exact thing. She's a prophet. She's a prophet because she said it before he got here.
I just think crazy stuff sometimes, and I'm really like, I don't know what that word would be or what I'm thinking, but I'm just like, what is that? I'm having a brain freeze, but I'm just real big on like, I don't want everybody using the bathroom. I don't want to use everybody's bathroom. It's not even a germaphobe. It's just like, if I went somewhere and it's just very personal. Like, I don't want everybody's butt on my toilet.
I think a bathroom is private.
It's like, we need a guest bathroom. It's like he didn't have to violate the bathroom that way, and Jay's like, he violated the bathroom. So I was tickled by it. And so I'm like, okay, so the plumber puts the piping in and stuff. Then he proceeds to go to the front and change the address out, so on and so forth. And I think I left, came back home. Yeah. So Lou was here. I came back. I think I asked you before I left. I said, is that address crooked?
Yeah, you asked.
I feel like it's crooked. And so Lou's like, I can't, let me see. I'm like, the numbers are slightly off. It wasn't something big. I could see like the 4 was slightly lower in the 2, but because I knew what I wanted, it stood out to me. And then there was like one piece of a wire left hanging on the side. Like, these are things I'm seeing, so I'm feeling like I'm just picking, but I wanted all the wires down. And then the whole thing with the crap in the toilet. And then we found out just the other day there were cigarette butts just all throughout the yard. And then I found open canister, because our backyard is really long. So when I went to the very far back by the trash cans, I found like some sort of casing. It looks like maybe it was sealant for the pipes.
What they call it? Is it like conch or whatever they called it, like where it dries up around the pipe?
Right, for it to have, I guess, a firm seal, like a glue. Yeah. That was open with like a little paintbrush in it. So our dog Houston goes all throughout the yard. He's way at the other end, and we'll call him, come back up here. So I'm glad, because he's like a little person. He doesn't eat change. He doesn't, I mean, if it's something he smells and he doesn't like it, it's like, I don't want that bread. I want the, just different things like that. So he's just
a brioche bun.
Exactly. He's the little interesting guy. And when I saw that, I picked it up and I was like, I'm so happy that he didn't, eat it or lick it or something, because we would never have known. So all of this whole backstory that I'm telling you is what has led up to what the topic is that we're talking about today, and it's integrity. And so I just, Lou and I, we had a whole back and forth discussion. It actually got heated. That's not the podcast part of it, but I mean, that would have been crazy if we had that on the podcast. I was very frustrated with the numbers are crooked. He left a piece of wire, which Lou followed up with him before he left. Like, are these numbers? Oh yeah, they're cool. And what about this piece of wire? Oh, I didn't have a high enough ladder. And so my issue where Lou was saying, he did the best he could, the big part of the job that was done, the washer, the hookup, everything that you wanted, that's done. And my thoughts on it, or my take on it, was it doesn't matter. I paid him to do a full job. This is the price he quoted me. I didn't ask for a discount or anything like that. And I'm expecting for him to do what he said. And then it just led me to, I think there were some other incidents. I just started to go down the rabbit hole. Anybody that's a returning listener knows I'll just go down. It's like, this has happened, multiple times with different small businesses and entrepreneurs or, independent contractors. Like, the fact that you have to go up against, bigger companies
and do it like that.
Yeah, in addition to you not doing what you were paid to do. If you can't do it, just say you can't. But don't do a shitty job, or a crappy job and
unintended.
Right, yeah, in the toilet. And then, say, hey, make sure you tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your family, or make sure you Yelp about me. It's just crazy. And at some point, when does the individual themselves feel some type of way about, this is my work? This is what can bring me the repeat business that I desire. If anything else, I want the customer to be completely satisfied with what I said I can do. And it just seems like the integrity in business, the integrity in people and their word, it's just not what it used to be. Now, I'm not going to say everybody, but I've run into this more than not. And it's disheartening. And it's almost like I don't want to look at it as you're not doing the job. You're not doing what you said you could do. And there's a difference. A person that's doing hair, but a person that's like, I do exceptional work. I know what you want. I can do it. And they might show you some photos. And after you get your hair done, you're like, you clearly didn't do those photos. Because what's on my head, like, we've seen memes about it, like what I asked for versus what I got. That's not the case. So the integrity part is, don't you feel some type of way about being a liar? Don't you feel some type of way about charging somebody the price that you charge them for something that you said you could do, or the service you're going to deliver and you didn't do it? Like, where's your damn integrity? This is your business. Like, you do understand I'm displeased as a customer and I may never call you back. Are you more so focused on getting paid for the job and you don't care if you're ever rehired? You don't care if you're ever referred? Like, you should just feel some type of way about that. That's where I'm at with it. Like, a great majority of individuals lack integrity. I'm sure that trickles down to their character outside of their business. Because if you're doing business like that, I can only imagine how you are as a person,
Yeah, well, one of the things that, unfortunately, as a consumer or customer, is when you're reading Yelp reviews of all the 5-star reviews that you've seen on there, and you read some of them to me, it's either A, did you pay for those reviews and they said that for you so you can get the traction, or is the quality of what these people deem as a great job different from ours? So it is a very interesting thing when you're dealing with small businesses, mainly because the only thing we can rely on is reviews. So when you see that on the Yelps or any other platform where people can leave reviews about your work, and then you're like, dang, they really must be the deal. 5 stars. I mean, you can't help but, give it a shot. And so that was where the whole, I don't know, I guess I was trying to find a silver lining, but just looking at it we had a discussion today about it. I definitely have to retract my statement, because when you do visualize something and you see it done a certain way, and it's like, all right, well, at least he got the plumbing done. No, G, like that ain't what the fuck I saw. I didn't see my numbers being a half an inch shorter than the other number, like, or I didn't see my mailbox being slanted, or I didn't see that piece of wire not being cut down and it's looking like an oxtail ponytail on somebody's head that got a short ponytail. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all do, but you didn't visualize that. And then on top of that, like you said you can do it, and you can do it well, and I paid you, and all the other stuff that happened.
And you took a shit in the toilet.
Yeah, and didn't flush it. You put this toilet seat down. That's what kids do. They do that when they can't figure out how to make the stuff flush, or they put too much tissue in the toilet paper. They put too much tissue in the toilet bowl, and it's like, oh man, I don't know. What do I do? Well, let's close the lid.
The irony in that is he's a plumber. He's a fucking plumber. And you guys, I'm hot today, so I'm saying he's a fucking plumber. Like, I could see if it was the carpenter, the painter, I can't even think of anybody else right now.
Well, but
it was the plumber, and it's the toilet.
You're a specialist. Now, if it was something else, like I said, case in point with maybe the address, that's not a specialty of what we really got you for, a specialty job or specialized job.
Well, let me say something, because this is where we bumped heads, because in his I
know that. I know he said he can do it all.
But it says plumbing and handyman, where he does
lays
the towel, lays this, lays that.
But I'm only referring to the joke about the toilet, because you said the irony is that you are a plumber. No, I get that he is a handyman. He's supposed to be able to do it all. That's how he sold himself. No, I get that. I'm just laughing at the fact that you said he's a fucking plumber and the toilet was stopped up, and that's what the fuck you do. Like, that's what you said you had the most experience in, outside of you obviously saying that you do other things very well.
And I'm sure some of you were saying, oh, he would have got called back in there. He would. But
would you look at this?
Yeah.
Would you look at this? What is this?
But here's the deal. I know me. And I know once my energy goes in one direction,
it's too late.
It's not coming back. If I had made the call, because it was me that could make the call, because Lou's like, once Jay came in and said I had to go in there and clean up behind. So he cleaned it up. He was telling us after the fact. But if at that point I was like, no. He needs to be brought in here, and that needs to be addressed. I feel like at that point, that cancels out everything else. I don't want you working on the house, because now I feel like we've had to talk to you about some bullshit, literally, and it cancels out everything. It's not, you turn the water off and the water's coming through kind of shoddy. Not anything in regards to your work. This is like some separate, regular stuff you should know not to do. Like, you just don't do that. So at this point, it's like, Jay's already cleaned it up. It's like, what do you want to do? And it's like, you know what? I'm going to ride this out. I don't know what type of redemption we could have for that particular thing, but let's just say everything, the address came out amazing. Like, he lined it up, the mailbox, all the wires were gone, no cigarette butts. It just seemed like it was, other little things made it that much worse. You know how somebody like irritates you, and then they come in and they like close the door, and you like, they didn't have to slam that door. Why is he breathing like that? Are you smacking? Did he roll his eyes? Like, you're everything is heightened. That's the other thing. Like, we kept the cigarette butts, I think at one point he like blocked the driveway, but he didn't have to block the driveway. It was like you could just drive all the way to the back. It was just different things like that. So I could keep going on and on about that specific thing. The takeaway from this, the whole focal point is, have some freaking integrity, man. If you can't do something, say that you can't, or even go a step further and say, hey, I'm gonna check in to it and see if I know some people that can. Don't just take people's money and give them a shoddy ass job or half ass job and and be glad, that he came across somebody that wasn't going to give him that work, wasn't going to go through the haggle and hassle, just as like, you know what, I'm done with this. Because you come across the wrong person and they're paying their money for something, you don't provide it. Not only, well, I won't say you get a bad Yelp review, because clearly now there's a loophole in Yelp that we found out with all these amazing reviews, and these were repeated reviews.
Oh, we ain't talking about the other one, but it was another incident that happened with us while we was on the break.
What?
You don't remember?
No.
Long Beach.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, you guys. This podcast will be 2 hours. I know my octave is, you're gonna have to turn my vocals down or whatever, because I'm looking at the spiking on here. Wow, it was so bad, you guys. I wanted to forget it. The integrity. Like, what is this? Amazing Yelp reviews. Yeah, this definitely proves that Yelp.
Something is wrong in that Yelp, man.
Maybe you're able to pay people through a third party to go to Yelp. Maybe it's something that we don't know about yet, but maybe it's a small company. Right, exactly. Like with the Instagram world, maybe they are now paying for, we pay you guys. You make sure you go Yelp. Oh, somebody found that loophole. Somebody found it.
It's definitely a growth hack.
Well, we need to talk about it. Yelp has a growth hack, you guys. If you didn't know, you're hearing it first from us, because I Yelp, and also I read Yelp reviews, and these were 5-star Yelp reviews, and I don't just look at it and go 5 stars. I'll read like, oh, it's 30 reviews. I'm the person that's down on like the 10th or the 11th review, and I'm looking, and then I see if that was an elite Yelper, or if this was someone that Yelps all the time. Like, I try to do, maybe elite Yelpers are paying, like almost like on IG where they say, I'll promote your stuff. Hit me in my DM for a small fee. Maybe something like that is going on, because it did. I forgot about that one.
Within 2 weeks.
So one of the other things, if you're a new listener, old listeners know this, but for new, we make it a point to find small businesses to support in some kind of way, whether it's a skill set, and I'm a foodie, so food, I found this little place or this new place over here, this new place. You guys, I'm gonna get back in the swing of things. By next Monday, I'll be there. I looked, I saw the reviews. I forget how I even came across this place. And our rule of thumb is we do not give names.
No.
Found this restaurant, Long Beach, great reviews. So I'm like, oh. So the day that I found it, I called and it said that it was closed, but it was supposed to be open. It said open on the actual website, but I just happened to call and it said they were closed. So I called for the next day that it was scheduled to be open. I get the owner on the phone and I ask, oh, is it a rush right now? I read the Yelp reviews, I want to come down and get a couple of the things that I see, here that, man, they spoke really highly of. Do I need to place an order now? It'll take us about 45 minutes to get there. You can come now. It's not, a rush. We're here. I'm like, great. Get off the phone. I rally up the troops. Like, everybody, we're going to get something. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. Like on some Oprah stuff. You get like we're going to spend money to support. And now a quick moment from our sponsor, Journey of a Legend.
You. Yeah, you. What's your passion? Purpose. Every day you try, you succeed. The time is now. Journey of a Legend. It starts with you.
If you want to learn more or purchase merchandise, go to www.journeyofalegend.com. So we get down, it's about a 45-minute drive. Yeah. So we get there. Yeah, we get there. And when your spidey senses start going off when you get to a place, we get there, we go inside, and I was already kind of feeling, I saw the people outside. It looked like it was kind of a little line. And I hey, it happens. It took us 45 minutes. So we're next. And the lady says, what can I get for you? And I think I either read her name or I saw her name or something.
I saw her name
right,
on the tag.
Right. And I said, we spoke on the phone. We made it down here. So Lisa, I spoke with you on the phone. And she's like, oh, you did make it down here. Just so you know, I just got a really big order. Somebody called from LAX. They just flew in. And so I've got a huge order. So you may have to wait. Did she say about an hour?
She said between 45 minutes to an hour before we can make your food.
Right. So I was like, huh? Like something off of Scooby-Doo. I was confused. So I said, oh. She's like, but you know what? Because I talked to you on the phone and I told you I'm going to see what I can do. So she walks off. So we're waiting. So another lady beckons us to come next.
She never came back.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
She never came back, people.
There it is there. There it is there. She never came back. And there was a lady on the register after a few minutes passed that beckons for us to come over and place our order. Meanwhile, while we're preparing to place our order with her, the lady, we'll call her Lisa, the owner, comes back and takes the order of two guys that came in, and he says, I want to get, some turkey, sides, whatever he was ordering. And she said, do you want it the way you usually get it? And okay. And he's like, well, however you make it. And she says, okay, I'm gonna get right on that. So my daughter is like, what is going on? So I still am like, let me just kind of stay in my zone. We're here already.
It was the 45 minutes that was probably keeping you there that long.
The drive, you guys.
It was the drive. It was like you came out here. I want to see what this is about. I'm still letting y'all slide, but you on like X number 2 already. You usually only gave them 3. You gave them a lot this time.
You guys, I try. I promise you I do. I'm really not a tyrant or like coming in. Did they dot the I, cross the T? So as we begin to place our order, me going first, the lady says, what will you have? And I say, I'll have, the catfish. I know people spoke
That's
really
what you went there for.
Yeah, I said, because the catfish, and we don't have any catfish. We just ran out. He thinks that's funny because we have these masks on because of the pandemic.
I saw her eyes immediately. I said, yeah, she's pissed now.
It was like my soul left my eye. Like, how you see somebody when their life just goes from their eyes? That's how I felt. And it wasn't so much as no catfish. It was 45 minutes. It could be an hour wait. And now you don't have the catfish. And
that's what you drove there for.
Right. And I said, well,
how about the chicken?
No, before I went to that, I said, well, will you guys be getting some in? Or, is that, because I'm thinking in my head, damn, it's an hour wait. Is there some coming? I said, are you guys going to get any in? Well, I don't even know. I think he, like I knew who he was.
The dude just left. No, the dude had walked past me and she says that, yeah, that's, I don't remember his name, but let's just say John Doe. Yeah, John is actually on the way. Yeah, that's him right there, just passed by. Who the hell is him? But he walked by and is like, yeah, I think he's going to the store right now, baby, and going to go get some as we speak.
I did not hear any of that.
Yeah.
That's what she said. I heard was no catfish. And I asked, were you be getting some? And I thought she said, I don't know. So then I said, because I'm like, now I'm stuck. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, they said that the smothered chicken. I said, actually, my daughter's going to get the smothered chicken. I'll do the fried. What pieces do you have? Legs. We don't have anything else.
At this point, we could have went to Popeyes or Churches and got us a leg dinner.
And just so you guys know, I don't go to Popeyes and Churches.
I'm being funny.
I'm just saying, like, I really was just like, okay.
So you don't have no fish, no catfish, and you only serve legs for your chicken dinners.
No, they ran out of all the other pieces of chicken.
Oh, so no breast, no thighs.
Right,
no
remember
nothing.
she said, and I
don't
ran
out of that.
They
too.
ran out of
I
the chicken.
Thought they just only served.
No,
legs.
she said all we have right now
How
are
you
legs.
No, run out of food.
No,
we ain't got no food.
That's what we were wondering. So then I said, I'll just have a side of. Do you have the cornbread? Or so I got 2 sides, and I ordered 2 pieces of this mouth-watering cornbread that everybody raved about.
And they had whatever that mac.
They called it mac and chicken, and I was like, "What is that?" People were raving about this. These Yelp reviews were ridiculous. Like, come and get it. So Lou orders his food, my daughter orders her food, and they, we we go sit in the car because I don't want to stand inside now. I'm probably like, yeah, I don't want my energy in here. I'm fuming. So we get in the car, and after a while, Lou goes, he checks to see if the order's ready. He checks, he comes back with the bags. He checked twice. The second time he came back with the order. So I open the bag and I'm checking the order. And I say, you ordered garlic mashed potatoes? And he goes, no. So they gave Lou the wrong sides. And then, well, no, I have to wait because Lou goes back in to get the side.
The first time.
Yeah, to get the side. Like, at first he's like, I don't even care. I'll eat it. I'm like, no, this is what you paid for. They already didn't have certain stuff. Go get what you want. So he goes back in. And did they give you the right side?
Yeah, the mac and chicken.
Did they give you that one?
Yeah, they gave it to me.
Okay, so he gets that. So he comes back out, and by the time he makes it to the car, I'm like, where's the cornbread? He's like, just forget it. Just forget it. I don't even care.
You forgot about they gave me green beans or something. I didn't even order no green beans.
Yeah, we figured that out again. So it's all these little pieces, and he's like, just forget it, Bear. And so at this point, it's just about the principle. Back to this damn integrity. I'm not going to pay you for something, and that's probably why, now that you reminded me that's probably why it spilled over to the plumber.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing it again. You told me that you had these items. There was no wait, nothing. And then all of a sudden you're out of stuff. And then you get my order wrong for the stuff that you do have. And then on top of that, you guys, it wasn't good.
It was bland.
It was bland.
Very bland.
And the cornbread was dry, and I was like, who?
Think about eating if you guys ever had Popeye's biscuits. Think about eating the new Popeye's biscuits, those dry ones with no water.
I was just like, oh my goodness. Why? But that goes back to what you said. I shouldn't finish that. Why? That goes back to you saying, the people writing these Yelp reviews are saying this is delicious. Either it's something wrong with us, or there's what'd you call it, a growth hack.
Yeah, I think it's a growth hack. It
Because
gotta be.
It was like, this is
you can't have that many people saying how amazing something is, and every time we come through the door, it's just horrible experiences. And we're not hard people to please at all. Really, you can win us over with the basic fundamentals.
Your customer service can be off the chain, and and the service is mediocre. I think that's also too that what ties into it. With the plumber, with the food, like people's customer service is garbage too. Perfect example. On a 4 a.m. workout, when I go in, the person at the front desk is always, good morning.
This is probably a small business too, if you ask me, because there's not a whole bunch of those gyms.
Right.
So they're like a startup too, right?
I believe so, but
a better word.
Yeah, I think that they said that there were some owners that started it of one of the bigger gyms, like almost like a 24, took their model of 24 and made smaller, more intimate gyms. So yeah. So the gym that we go to, I'm in there at 4 a.m. There's one guy that I see sometimes, and he's just like, gives you a head nod. You know, you swipe in, and it's like, because he's got the mask on. I think the mask too has really assisted people with garbage customer service. They think because the mask makes them invisible. Like I see that you don't look pleasant at all. I see that you're mumbling, you're not saying good morning. The mask does not shut off your ability to use your vocal cords. Like, what, you're not saying anything. So for me, at this point, because of how it is, I just go in. If you give me a head nod, especially for the workout specifically, I just nod my head back. I'm going to work out. But there's one particular guy that I see that's like, he's this ray of sunshine. It's like, good morning, have a great workout, and I love that. Now, barring everything else, the gym could be all this, a long wait time on the equipment, all this. The dude at the front rocks. And I think that makes it a little bit better for me, at least, because it's like an exchange of positive, energy. It's a good person. So when I come somewhere and your customer service is garbage, the actual thing I came for is trash, or the actual service you said that you provide is garbage, or you don't do it, that's the freaking worst. And then I look at it because I'm like, you don't care. You really are comfortable with saying you don't have any of these items and you're a restaurant.
We paid.
You said what?
We paid.
You know what I would have done? You know what? because you call me, mind you guys, we never saw the lady again, the owner that said she was gonna, see what she could do.
Did, but she wasn't the one that was dealing with me coming back in and out. Put it like that. She made sure she stayed ghost. When I was in there going back and forth trying to get our order right, saying missing items, the woman that took the order was the one that was handling. You can look in her face like, damn, what we fuck up this time? Like, this is like this dude 4th time coming in here. I mean, I almost felt bad for her, but I didn't.
I want to say my people, but it's not even that, because I've received customer service, bad customer service, or just from all different ethnicities. I think it hits harder for me sometimes when I know that there's a standard, or there's, I don't even want to say a standard, a stereotype is, we don't support, black owned businesses, or you don't support this. And then I make it a point to go out of my way to support. And I'm gonna drive further. I'm gonna dig harder when I could just go to a bigger company, or just make it a point not to go the extra mile. What's more convenient to me? And you are on some BS, and I still, even after this rant, I'm still gonna continue to try to find the needle in a haystack. But it just really sucks. Because at this point, like I said, the lady never came back. I'm thinking, how did you feel comfortable knowing that someone called you, inquired in advance, and they came and you knew who they were? It wasn't like we came in and we were quiet about it. You met them and you didn't say, you know what? We don't have the catfish. We don't have this. Let me give you a rain check. This is how I would do. These are just things I'm thinking, because I'm not looking for a handout to come up or give me a freebie. I'm not asking for a discount. But when you know that it's your bad, when you know that you've done some, I don't know about the dump in the toilet, how he could make that right, because I wouldn't feel comfortable taking a crap in somebody's toilet.
Toilet in there. Toilet in there.
No, I just it's a plunger in there. He could have just fixed it while he was in there. He left it for Jay. I'm so glad I didn't see it, because maybe it wouldn't have made it to, it's cool. It would have been a lot for me.
Go.
Yeah, he can't. No, and I would have sent you. Like, he gotta go. I can't, because that just would have been too much for me. But with the different stories, and then just going forward, I don't know if you guys have had experiences like this too, but it's just the level of comfort. Like, you're not going to try to rectify this. You're not going to try to make it right. You're not going to try to save the amazing reviews that you have from this one thing, because maybe, hey, I don't know, I'm not in the restaurant business, but they ran out of stuff. Like I said, I do a rain check. I would say, you know what, it's on us, whatever it is, but you're showing that, hey, I dropped the ball and I'm gonna try to figure this out, because I want, what you say, the retention. I want you to come back.
I want you to come back.
I want you to be happy, or I want to try to make you happy in some shape, form, or fashion, because this is what I said I do. That's not happening, and it sucks. It's not happening. So my thing is, when things are happening, when I'm seeing something like that, I go in to do a self-evaluation. Like, okay, Bear, are you keeping your word? Are you being a woman of good character? When you say you're going to do something, or you say, I do this, I'm a creative consultant, I assist in this capacity, I will do said, what am I saying? I will do this. I would, whatever it is. Am I doing that? Because I immediately am like, why am I running into this? Is this something that I do? It's a quick self-check. But I know that's not the case. It's like, dang, this is crappy. Or people are settling for mediocre, like, service.
Yeah, or maybe that's the best service they ever experienced, and they never experienced what we deem. But I wouldn't say that. Now I'm just reaching. I'm honestly reaching for an explanation here, because there is no explanation for why some of the stuff that happened in the last 2 weeks happened, and for these businesses that we try to patronize. It was unacceptable, both sides.
Mm-mm.
Like, You walk in, you tell me the first thing I gotta do is wait 45 minutes before I can take my order and get my food prepared, only for you to come right out 5 minutes later and talk to, I guess, two gentlemen that frequent your restaurant and say, oh, I'm gonna jump right on that. And then you got our order on and gave us everything but the shit we ordered.
I'm to the point where I will mimic what I've seen on shows like Cheers when they walk in and it's like Norm. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but I go to the same coffee shop, the same, like, shout out to San Antonio Winery. Amazing service. I mean, it's not even like, oh, the food is bomb. They have sangrias. Like, I get the same. You've been there with me before.
Yeah, they are wonderful.
Oh my gosh. I get the same amazing customer service from the time I step in the door. Hello, how are you? Hey, how you doing? Do you need any assistance? Have you been here before? Can I help you with anything? How you doing? You can't even put, once your food is gonna
try this. This is on the house. I want you to try this.
Yeah, or you're eating and it's like, before you look up, is everything to your liking? You guys doing okay over here? We're great, thank you. Another 5 or 10 minutes. Everything okay? It's constant. That place exemplifies what I wish I could get in all the other businesses. It's just like, wow, they get it. And it's family owned. They freaking get it. And I know you guys is like, normally I don't really highlight, I don't want to say something bad about don't go over there, this person, but San Antonio Winery freaking rocks. I mean, if it's, and I it's a pleasure. I take joy in going and spending my money over there. If it's something going on, it's a beautiful day, let's go over to the winery. Like, I want to give them money. Like, let's go over there. Let's just go sit over there and have some wine. Let's sit over there and have some sangria, let's have some, some finger foods, whatever it is, because of how they provide. They don't even say San Antonio Winery, we provide exceptional service. It's a winery, and all the other stuff is just a additional bonus to us getting, like I said, the food is good, but it's not like, oh my gosh, you've got to go over there and have their ravioli or something like that. It's just like all the other stuff, so these experiences had me looking up the word integrity. And it's interesting because there was one of the things that's like, what are the 5 attributes of integrity? And the first thing, that's why I said I'm not losing my mind. It says integrity brings together the following components: honesty. This means telling the truth, being open, not taking advantage of others; respect, generating trust; pride, responsibility, keeping promises, helping others. Oh, so I'm like, I'm not crazy. Like, these are all the things that I'm hoping to experience through my patronage.
Mm-hmm.
When I come in as a consumer, I'm hoping to experience these things because of the, like, this person is they have great integrity, and it's not happening. It's just not. So if you have a business, and even beyond the business, just you yourself, do a self-check on that. Like, do an integrity check. Like, what's up with me and my integrity? With my friends, my family, in business, my work ethic. Like, am I kind of like operating on a low level of integrity? Do I do like mediocre? Am I taking craps in people's toilets? Like, what's up? Like, what?
Not flushing it.
Yeah, and you may be doing it metaphorically. I'm coming here shitting on everybody every day. Yeah, like, what? What is going on? Yeah, but that's what we're back with, integrity. And I could go on and on, but man, if you have experienced, or you are experiencing on a daily basis, because I'm thinking about work environments. What if you're a person and your coworkers' work ethic, their integrity is garbage, and you trying to pick up the slack and stuff? Because it's like, this is still the company I work for. I don't, if you keep doing poor work, and it could be reflection on the company for somebody that's, forward thinking, the numbers go down, we get poor reviews in this department, and they looking at me, we all are together in this, but somebody might be like, we all together, my paycheck spends separate. When I get paid, I go home and do what I do.
That's it. I think that's it. That's the one. When you have people that go in not really caring about what type of service they give, as long as they get a paycheck, that's what drives the integrity of the business down. It's like, oh, you mean to tell me I can still get this check regardless of how happy or sad I come in or how angry or whatever attitude I have when I'm in here? Oh, yeah, that's bad. I'm going to just go through the motions.
Well,
and they won't understand that unless they own a business of their own and they hire people and their people are doing that.
Right up there with San Antonio Winery, Lou recently found through our son would it be a videographer? Someone,
I would say videographer /
director. And man, the integrity there was just off the chain. So there are some people out there that
went above and beyond my expectations, to be honest with you.
Man, so we know it's out there. I think we just got hit heavy, and just I wanted to have this open conversation. Like, some of y'all out there on some straight BS, and you know it, and you taking people's money, or you walking around doing half-ass jobs, and you're the owners. That's another thing. We dealt directly with owners. Like, you're okay with this? You are not trying to be here a decade from now. You really on some, dang, I thought they was open. They must have closed overnight. That place ain't even there anymore. That clearly is what could happen to you. You stay in that type of business practice, or I don't even want to say just business practice, because like I said originally, this has to spill over into them as individuals. If this is how you are doing business, I can't even imagine. Your word is probably writ on water, as an individual, like how you function with your family and your friends and stuff. I wouldn't trust you to do anything because you don't care. Like, you really are on, hey, I'm gonna get it how I live. Whatever I can do. I mean, hey, today was just one of them days when I know Catfish. What's up? Like, I'm good. Like, what? You feel you're okay with that?
Your name is on this business check.
That's crazy. So, the integrity check is like mandatory right now, especially, I don't want to say it should always be, but especially with these masks and stuff on in this pandemic and these businesses that have gone under and they're trying to thrive.
Yeah,
and
you want to have the best service possible at this particular point in life. And
you over here playing. People driving 45 minutes out, and it's people losing their businesses that have been
exceptional.
And open for years on top of years. Like, there's a movie theater that the Vista that is what do they call it? Where it's not a staple.
Vintage.
I think it is vintage, but it's been there for more than 20 years. It has not reopened as AMC has reopened, Regal theaters, all the major chains here in California. This one theater that we would frequent is very quaint. It's got like Egyptian statues for any of the people that have visited California. And for Hollywood, the Man Chinese Theater is like a major one. The Vista Theater is equivalent to that. They've shot like Quentin Tarantino films there. A lot of filming happens there with other projects. It's just that kind of place. That place still has not reopened. So I know it has something to do with the funding or something, because they've already said you can have operated 25% capacity, and now we've moved up into what they say the yellow tier is. So now it's even more people that can come indoors. Regular movie theaters open, so they took a hit. A lot of places took hits where that open shut, or the time that everything was shut down, they lost tons of money, and so they just weren't able to recover. And you over here out of Catfish, you only got chicken legs. This dude is taking shits in toilets and leaving cigarette butts. Yeah. No. So I always implore you as listeners, if you want to keep this conversation going, shoot us an email. I don't know if you had anything else to say on this, Lou, because it'll just turn into a whole. Lou was like, I don't even want to bring that energy back in here. We got rid of it. We're trying to fix some things up in here. Yeah. So if you want to keep this conversation going, you can shoot us an email at realfitradio@gmail.com. Also, you guys, I mentioned it earlier, working on where we can drop a smaller segment in the middle of the week, because I'm getting my editing skills down. So you'll hear more from...
She gonna come looking at me about some editing skills.
Yeah, because everybody is like an inside joke. Everybody in the house can edit. I was unable to, and my daughter took the time, and boy, her patience can be thin. So shout out to Jair for taking the time to help mommy get on the the editing train, because I just was like, everybody can do this. I mean, they're probably kids doing it in their sleep. So once I get comfortable with it, I want to try to put another, do some editing myself, even if Lou hops on, or I'm doing a piece in the middle of the week, in addition to the podcast that drops on Mondays. So stay tuned for that. I'll be my due diligence working to get that up and on the way. And because of the woman of integrity that I am, it will happen. I'm not going to say that in either. I'm going to follow up and tell you guys my fingers stopped working. I can't edit something. It's just not going to be like, dang, she said, and it never happened. So, yeah. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or again, if you want to shoot us an email to keep this conversation going, or just reach out, you can reach us at realfitradio@gmail.com. Our podcast, We're Back and Better, dropping every Monday. Catch the latest snippet on our Instagram at realfitradio. If you're not following us, you definitely should be. As always, we hope this inspired, impacted, or empowered someone. Until next time.